Welcome to episode 3 of May Malaise. Our first match is going to be Roy against R.O.B. One letter apart, and yet that changes everything. Although I guess you could say that about most spellings. Oh, and it's US R.O.B, by the way. You may have already seen that, but I don't know, maybe someone was looking away at the exact moment. R.O.B doing a good job of stuffing out Roy with some up airs. Now he's only taking more damage, proving my statement false. Ooh, getting hit with the neutral B. You don't usually see maybe people get hit by it, but Roy actually used the bottom part of the hitbox to successfully hit R.O.B there. Oh, R.O.B went for a grab, but Roy was on the platform. R.O.B's grab doesn't reach that far. Although humorlessly enough, apparently R.O.B has one of the best grab ranges in the game. But if you ask anyone, they'll tell you obviously he doesn't. The reason for that is that his base, which normally is because, you know, he's a toy and he needs a platform to stay on, that counts as part of his collision box, and it naturally pushes people away. So while R.O.B's grab does have a lot of range, the range is mostly already inside of this character, so it doesn't go out much further than it already is. They just make it go all the way back. I guess out of consistency? I don't know. Honestly, one of the design limitations of R.O.B is just due to the way his character is shaped. Like, he doesn't have feet, so he kind of slides along the ground. He has a jetpack to jump with, stuff like that. He leans into attacks a lot, which is good, but it's also incredibly necessary. Because if he doesn't, I don't know if you've seen his jab. It looks a lot like his forward tilt because his model doesn't allow for that much flexibility. I actually made a 3D model of him ages ago, and that was one of the problems when animating him. He just had fewer actions he could perform. Obviously, they took some liberties for Smash Ultimate. Well, actually, all the Smash Brothers games makes him more expressive as a character. Roy, on the other hand, has normal human limbs, so he doesn't have those problems. Oh, R.O.B went for the down throw to up air. He usually doesn't go for that. Roy predicts the air dodge, but he forward smashes way too early, so he's not able to hit R.O.B with that. Now, R.O.B's a pretty rush-downy character. He's actually like the most rush-downy sword character you're probably going to see. At least, you know, in Smash Brothers. It's a little bit to a disadvantage on this stage, just because it has two holes in it. It does actually make for a unique stage layout, and this is the hazardless version, so you're not going to get the exploding blocks, and Roy barely made that. Grabbing with his fingernails. At least that's what it felt like. Oh, R.O.B starts comboing Roy across the stage, and falls in a pit, so he's not able to recover quickly. Barely avoiding getting forward smashed off the side, though. He's got Roy off stage, doesn't get the spike. Throws Roy off stage there. That is actually a valuable trick to some of R.O.B's grabs. He maybe could have gone for a down throw to up smash kill confirm, but if you ever have any doubts, you can still throw your opponents off stage. And since R.O.B has a jetpack, it can often be easier than you'd think to try to, you know, edge guard him. Down throw to up air. Oh, but it's not going to kill, but it did connect. That probably means that the amiibo was smashed out early enough that up smash wouldn't have connected. Oh, but that time up smash did connect. The timing was perfect for it, I suppose. Roy recovering past the ledge. That's a trick we like to call the beefy up B, in honor of the people who named it that. R.O.B tries to land with a neutral air, but he doesn't land. He instead falls into the pit, putting him at a position disadvantage. It's mostly made up by now. Throwing Roy, that one I probably would have gone for a combo throw, I'm going to be honest. If there wasn't a platform on the left, then you totally could have gone for the offstage pressure, but... Yeah, see, up throw to forward air. R.O.B doesn't usually do that. It's usually only a combo at low percents. Throwing out a couple up, down tilts. It's a really good move, and it can trip. Roy pivots in place, gets hit in the face with a top forward, though. It's actually a gyro, but... Not that anyone's going to get it confused for... Okay, so Roy is just getting beaten up repeatedly. He couldn't even tech that. There wasn't the little collision marks. Really good combo from R.O.B. Probably the best combo we've seen. The down tilt zone. Just hit him with a whole bunch of down tilts. I can see why some people who don't play R.O.B. don't like the move. Up air is going to secure a kill. Means that US R.O.B. does not have to participate in this tournament any longer. He has earned his freedom. And for our second match, we're going to have Chrom against Pac-Man. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so it looks like they're going to be on the Great Plateau. They're actually on one of the towers on the Great Plateau. Well, the tower on the Great Plateau. But that's incredibly specific to Breath of the Wild. Which is a great game, and hey, the sequel just came out. So, you know, play that if you want. Don't have to convince many people. It's already a very popular game and it just released. Fortunately for me, I'm too busy doing stuff like this to play it at the moment, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna. It just means I haven't played it yet. Pac-Man go for the wall jump on the top of the tower there. Kept him airborne longer. He probably should have just landed instead. The hydrant giving Chrom just a little bit of a push into the right position. That is one of the hazards you run as Pac-Man. Well, I guess it's a hazard you run when you throw out the hydrant. It can help or it can hurt. And I've seen matches where it does both. Although usually depending on the Pac-Man, it either helps him a whole bunch or it really doesn't. And Chrom does not make that back. Definitely got a hill to run back up to win this. It's actually... Ooh, Pac-Man charged that for way too long. It's actually a little more dangerous for Chrom here. He needs to make it back right now. He did. Ooh, he almost didn't. But he eventually did. He definitely has a very exploitable recovery. Makes up for the fact that he hits like a truck. But it does mean he can die... Well, I guess anyone can die early. But Chrom is statistically more likely to die early than a lot of other characters. Why did... Okay, Rob just shielded that. Probably should have rolled just to avoid taking the shield damage. Pac-Man's smash attacks don't exactly break shields in one hit. But you never want to find out that you get shield poked. Because a fully charged smash attack does have... Oh wow, the slide and jab combo. A fully charged smash attack does have a significant amount of knockback. Like, no kidding, most forward smashes fully charged can kill a character at 70 or 60. It, you know, depends on who is hitting who with what smash attack, but since it's so hard to hit a charged smash attack, there's definitely a lot more reward. If anything in normal play, it actually comes up, ooh, Chrom didn't have to use up B there, and he grabbed Pac-Man first. Being able to hold the charge for a smash attack actually does really help with punish timing, believe it or not. If someone's about to land and they try to stall out with, say, an air dodge, if they air dodge up, that will change the time that they land, but if you're holding a smash attack, you can just wait for that to happen and then hit them anyway. And of course, if anyone ever gets, like, shield broken or something like that, the extra power really does help. Even if it doesn't kill... Oh, that footstool didn't kill. Even if the charged attack doesn't kill, it does still do extra damage, so why not go for it? Alright, they're in the tech zone right now. This area is pretty good for teching if you're consistent with it. I mean, if you're not, it's still a good area for teching. Chrom is not going to make that back. That means that Pac-Man's going to win this one. And that you won't be seeing him again this season. And for our next match, we're going to have Isabelle against Luigi. Two characters who you can definitely tell weren't built for fighting, but they still make it work with whatever stuff they have at their disposal. Isabelle with an early lead with the turnip down air. Alright, playing out on the really far out-reaching platform. Luigi's just jumping all over the place. It's not something you usually see from Luigi. His airspeed is just so low. He normally just has to run at you. Like that. That was some good running. So this is the hazards off version of the stage, by the way. So, well, you might see that there were platforms and that now there's not. The spiral mountain shouldn't be rotating. Because I guess that's considered a hazard. It's a little weird what does and what doesn't. Especially because the hazards off is basically only for the tournament scene. Oh, Luigi kept his jump, he can make that back. So in, you know, official tournaments, you don't want to have any sort of variance or whatever. But if you're just playing with your friends, then you want all the wacky stuff imaginable. Ironically, it started out of complaints of certain stages, most specifically Dr. Wily's Castle, were really good for competitive. However, they had a stage element that came in and then made it so that they couldn't use it for competitive stages. I say it's ironic because now that we have more stages in Smash Ultimate, compared to, you know, Smash 4, no one uses Wily's Castle as a competitive stage. There's like 5 stages they use. And 3 of them are Battlefield. Well, okay, that's not entirely true. Big Battlefield isn't really used. It's only, I think, ever used whenever they have, like, 4v4 tournaments, which are pretty rare, as you can imagine. Although, now that I think about it, some of the accepted alternates are usually... Don't think I didn't see that taunt, Isabelle. Normally, the accepted alternates have the same platform layout. So, that's something to know. Isabelle getting a good forward smash off of Luigi. What happens when you jump as often as he did? When you're Luigi, I should specify. Karate chop past the ledge. A little interesting. It did happen to work, but it gave Isabelle control over the stage, while Luigi was stuck having to recover. Isabelle just gently floats back to the ledge, the upper ledge, which I guess is easier to get off of than the lower ledge, but... Isabelle keeps trying to go for these off-stage fishing rod plays, but she's never gotten them to land. She's also missing so many... Okay, that one, she straight up did a back air instead of a forward air. If she had done the other one, she clearly would have hit Luigi. Again, Isabelle is just not hitting so many of these slingshots. Luigi gets the grab, but he goes for an up throw, which means he's not able to combo off of it. It's really bad for Luigi because one of his strongest characteristics is that once he grabs you, he gets some of the best combos in the game. Especially off of grabs. It's actually so bad when Smash Ultimate first came out, Luigi had a 0 to death. They fixed that. 0 to deaths are not normally a thing you want to have on your characters. That being said, Kazuya and Steve both have a 1, so... But they're also both the 2 characters considered being banned, so... Guess that'll show you. I mean, it goes to show you. Luigi needs a misfire to make it back. Oh, actually, his jump was just enough to let him grab the ledge. Jumps up into another forward smash. I guess Isabelle's found her kill move. Though now that I think about it, Isabelle hasn't been planting any Lloyd rockets. Granted, Luigi hasn't been giving her that much time to do that. But still, it's effectively a landmine. Well, a landmine that brings you up into the sky and then blows up. So I guess it's like a bouncing Betty? Dropping past the ledge to hit Isabelle with the forward air from below. That's... I would never have thought to do that. Also because the timing is so strict, I'd imagine. If you go for it and you miss, then you just give up your ledge invincibility, and then you just have to recover again. Isabelle pulls it through. Good job. And here we've got Pichu against Wolf. I'm noticing a trend where Pichu keeps getting matched up against opponents who are heavyweights, Wolf being a heavyweight except he's not super heavy. The only problem about that for Pichu is that Pichu is the lightest character in the game, and heavyweights usually have some pretty hard-hitting moves. So it usually means that Pichu ends up dying a little bit sooner than most other characters would. Obviously, you know, it is the risk you run when you play the character, but it does kind of mean that there's a little bit of a subversion. Normally, heavyweight characters are a little bit worse because they have other things that they can rely on. But Pichu being so extreme in the one direction. Also, it's especially bad for the amiibo because the amiibo doesn't really know all of Pichu's greatest combos. Oh, Wolf recovers high. Pichu does not punish it. Knows to shield that because Wolf's up smash does actually cover a huge vertical range. And they're just kind of dancing around each other. I expected a little bit more to happen, but they just kept missing a whole bunch of moves. Alright, looks like we're playing the game again. Pichu gets Wolf off stage. Pichu does have a very good recovery, so Pichu can actually go really far off stage for some very good edge guarding. And it's not like Pichu's edge trapping is super terrible either. Basically makes for a pretty good all-around character. A little bit less, you know, well-balanced than, say, Pikachu, but that's kind of because Pichu is a variation of Pikachu, where your attacks hit harder, which, for Pichu and Pikachu and Special Ultimate, it's a couple of them are going to be on a move-by-move basis. But for being such a small, nimble character as Pichu, if it wasn't for the whole self-damage thing, a lot of the moves would be just a little bit less whelming. Good job with Pikachu. And I guess he knew to turn around after his shield gotten hit. So you can grab out of shield, but you can only grab the direction you're facing. So you can grab behind you, but you do have to drop your shield and then turn around, which does take one frame in Smash Ultimate. So it is just a little bit slower. Also, because you have to drop your shield, you can't grab out of shield, which is, I'm pretty sure, faster than dropping your shield and then grabbing. There is an extra penalty applied to grabbing out of shield, which turns out is necessary to make things punishable in this game. Or to make it so that every single aerial is not insanely punishable. If you don't believe me, watch gameplay of Smash 4. Everything was just unsafe on shield. Alright, last stock situation, but Pichu's already at 60%. Pretty terrifying range to be at, because Wolf has some incredibly safe smash attacks that he can just sort of spam out whenever he feels like it. Oh, Pichu going for some sort of combo, but get a trade halfway through stopped it short. Recovering high into the platform. Dangerous, but it mostly worked. Pichu can make that back. Weird hitbox of back air, but it was able to give Wolf the win. That brings us to Lucina against Zero Suit Samus. Oh wow, you really can see the crest in Lucina's eye. I don't know all of the lore of Fire Emblem, but it's supposed to be like an identifying feature that comes up, I think, like halfway through the plot. You normally can't see it in gameplay because you're looking for... I mean, effectively you're looking for a fancy cataract, and that's really hard to see. But you can see it in the render, so the more you know. It's like we're on Find Me. You can actually see that the Me in the cage is taken from your system, and it turns out whenever you make a Me fighter, you need to have some sort of corresponding Me on your system. So, yeah, you get a little reference to one of the other tournament characters. Never even considered that. This is the hazards off version, so we're not going to be seeing the Dark Lord. You're not going to get parts of the stage to just crumble into ruin. And Lucina recovers just too low, not able to make it back. A Zero Suit with a fancy little dash dance. Lucina just keeps using this up B. That's a little concerning. That will get you punished quite frequently. Getting footstool, able to make it back that time though. Great conversion from Lucina. Doesn't quite get the kill, but certainly helps. Alright, we finally got another hit in. Zero Suit tried to go for something fancy. I don't think down tilt normally converts into flip kick, but I'm pretty sure if it did, I'd see it a lot more often. Now that was actually a good up B from Lucina. Able to get her out of hit stun and hit Zero Suit Samus in return. That up smash was not enough to kill. Zero Suit Samus did not be reversed, but was still able to grab the ledge. Some recoveries you can't get away with that, though. Lucina going incredibly low. It did work, but just barely. These people are really good at teching off the cage. More impressively, they tech off the cage and then they know that they can hit their opponent. Which, if a real person does, it's not a guarantee, so... But I guess it's probably one of the best options you can go for. The back air not killing Zero Suit, but Zero Suit is used... Oh, she used flip kick. She was able to make it back, but then she got killed anyway. Lucina's been able to turn this around. Okay, Lucina did not tech any of those, and she got like 4 chances. Although, whenever you tech, there's like a little bit of a tech cooldown, so if you miss the tech, you can't just spam the button to always get it. So she probably only got like 1 or 2 chances if the Amiibo AI follows the same rules as humans do. Oh, and Zero Suit just doesn't make it back. She even has a wall jump. Why didn't she Whatever. Well, good job, Lucina. And here we have Pikachu against Japanese R.O.B. with the American in-game skin. Gotta keep clarifying, because you never know when you might have someone new show up for only this one video and be super confused and then leave. Oh, R.O.B jumped directly into that Thunder Jolt. Thunderbolt? I think Pikachu's is called Thunder Jolt. Most of the moves that the Pokemon have are usually based off of specific Pokemon moves. Even though, you know, it's pretty conceivable that Pikachu should be capable of a whole bunch of random electric tomfoolery. Even stuff such as shooting out an electric projectile usually has a specific... R.O.B just landed a couple of down tilts and decided to mentally check out. Pikachu landed one jab, so R.O.B decided to land a down tilt. R.O.B, what is this? This obscene pressure. Normally people don't do that, because if you mess up the input, then it just kind of gives up all the pressure you have. Also, usually dash dancing in place as a real person isn't as effective as it used to be in other games. Because, you know, in older games, the whole point of dash dancing was that it kept your options open while keeping you mobile. But in Smash Ultimate, you don't need to do that. Because you can use any move the second you end your dash. Like, once you're no longer holding the stick to dash forward. Oh, R.O.B teched that. Just Pikachu didn't get the spike hitbox. So you don't need to run around in place to keep your options open, because your options are normally equally as open. So if anything, dash dancing for a real person is usually a disadvantage, just because it means that you are preoccupied doing something for intimidation. Which, I mean, hey, if you want to play mind games against your opponent, you can still use it for that. Alright, no one's died yet. They're both at pretty high percents. Neutral air isn't going to kill anytime soon. And an up smash will. First blood goes to R.O.B. Catches the down air before it even lands. That's, I mean, a little risky, but obviously it worked. Oh, he went for a forward tilt there. He probably should have gone for an up tilt. Since Pikachu was above, down B from across the stage will take R.O.B's first stock. Starts getting Pikachu in the down tilt loop. Turns out it's a really good move. And sometimes it can trick the opponent too, letting you do other stuff if you want. Wow, R.O.B is just out-positioning Pikachu with all of these back airs. It's funny, because if he wasn't landing any of them, and he gets a spike! Well, good job, R.O.B. Oh, R.O.B got sent really low, able to make it back with his jetpack, though. Alright, they're getting a couple of trades, which is, I'd say, better for R.O.B and worse for Pikachu. Just because Pikachu needs to stave off death. For quite a while, back air not killing Pikachu yet, but... And Pikachu went for a taunt, so suddenly I don't have as much remorse. R.O.B with another dash around up smash. Makes you wonder where that was during the tournament. Or the preliminaries. I cannot remember off the top of my head which 64 out of 80 amiibo made it into the tournament. I know it's bad because I should know because I recorded it all, but it's a lot. The matches just sort of blur together in your mind. Down tilting from way too far forward. I'm pretty sure R.O.B doesn't have like a really good armpit hitbox or anything. Forward tilt barely not killing. Pikachu made it back with a side B.
But if R.O.B had known, he probably could have intercepted it. Oh, R.O.B getting sent up by Thunder. So it used to always send you up. Good job, R.O.B. And now we've got Sheik against Peach. A lot of royalty going on. Careful with my words, because apparently some people... The game's Ocarina of Time is old enough that a lot of people don't know who Sheik is. Which is weird, because for the longest time it was, like, the most known fact. In fact, I think I've already talked about this year even, so... Maybe I'll stop to give you some more unique commentary. Oh, Peach went for a taunt. It was actually perfectly timed, so she was even able to grab Sheik for attempting to punish it. One thing that is definitely to the detriment of the Peach amiibo is that Peach amiibo doesn't really go for, like, float cancels, which is an incredibly valuable thing for Peach as a character. Able to grab the ledge, properly be reversing it. Sheik starts the Sheik combo, and gets it stuffed out halfway through. It's the risk you run. Sheik actually does a little bit better on platforms, at least in my opinion. I'm by no means a professional Sheik player, but Sheik has some setups that go off the platforms, and from a more simpler standpoint, Sheik's up smash has a sweet spot at the very top of it, which can be kind of hard to hit. However, most platforms are usually at the perfect height, so you can either bait people onto the platforms, or I do know there's at least one setup that puts someone on a platform so that you can hit them with the sweet spot of the up smash. And then it deals more damage and it kills them earlier. Oh, Peach with the falling up there is going to take Sheik's first stock. Forward tilt to back air. It ends the combo, but I guess it works. Really, Sheik's main weakness as a character is not having good kill power. So you need to use the specific setups in order to get your moves with the most knockback to actually land. She does have some pretty good edge guarding, but the amiibo are always hit or miss on that. They're either amazing or terrible. That being said, she does seem to know to use a healthy amount of back air, which normally it's the move you want to use for edge guarding, but if you can get it to land, then... It was able to successfully pressure Peach there. Peach air dodge just barely past the corner of the top platform. Falling up air there. I do know that there is actually a setup where you can specifically miss the last hitbox of falling up air to kind of drag your opponents down, but it normally kills you. And oftentimes you die first, so it's kind of like Bowser's side or Ganon's side. Not that you see that nearly as much. That's also because Ganondorf is a more capable character in Smash Ultimate than in Smash 4 when it was basically a necessity. See, Peach is just orbiting around Sheik's shield, but Sheik was actually able to get out unscathed. Pretty impressive too, because most of the things that Sheik would use to get Peach off her back would be like up smash. Well, that incredibly specific and it can be kind of hard to hit. And I guess up tilt, but Sheik's up tilt is like a two-parter, so it can be hard to hit with the hitbox you need at the right time. Sheik doesn't have at least to my knowledge, too many get out of pressure free options. That's actually kind of fine, just because Sheik is such a fast character. Sheik is usually the one who is applying the pressure. So you don't really mind that you don't have an escape option because you're dealing with your opponents. Peach is not able to grab the ledge, slowly falling to her death. I like the little wiggles, though, because that's kind of what people do. Down tilt, but not able to follow up with a conversion. Follow up? Meh. Terminology is weird. And Sheik with the rare 1 forward air combo. Especially weird because normally you follow it up with like 3 more forward airs, but... or at least you try. Ooh, falling, drag down up air. Nice. Sheik is just pulling out all of the tech skill. But, like, it's not as rewarding. I mean, obviously it's rewarding for Sheik, but a lot of other characters, if you pull out this insane level of reads and knowledge and mix-up, you would normally have won by now. Although I guess that maybe says that there's an even higher level of knowledge that Sheik players need to obtain. Getting the forward air to bouncing fish, that's... I don't want to call it impressive, but that's just because I can never get it to land. Everyone always, like, air dodges out of it or something. Maybe I always get the percents wrong, but... Oh, she elected not to hard punish Peach for that. She used her jump early, but she was able to bouncing fish back onto the platform, so it worked out in the end. But it is something I would normally warn against. Amazing grenade placement from Sheik there. Just spot on. Got the kill and the win. And for the last match of this video, we have Jigglypuff against Ice Climbers. Gonna be pretty interesting to see how they both cope. I would predict, because, you know, my predictions are historically accurate, that Jigglypuff should be able to do a good job of getting the Ice Climbers split up with her obscene levels of mobility. But, I mean, already I'm kind of getting proven wrong. The Ice Climbers are just relentlessly beating up Jigglypuff, which, in retrospect, I guess makes sense. A lot of Jigglypuff's moves are actually unsafe on hit at low percents. And since there's 2 Ice Climbers, that makes it even easier to trade with Jigglypuff, or even just counter hit. And up air is going to kill Jigglypuff right into the camera. Jigglypuff is escaping that with an up tilt. Usually it's not a move you see all that often. It's at really high percents it can kill, but it only hits behind Jigglypuff and a little bit above, but alright, Jigglypuff can successfully split up the Ice Climbers for the first time. Puts one to sleep, but the other one's going to be able to come into the rescue. One of Ice Climber's strongest characteristics is that sometimes very specific jank does not work because there's 2 of them. Oh yeah, see, Jigglypuff was able to land a rest, but she landed it on the second climber, but the first climber was able to get a free punish. It didn't kill Jigglypuff, which, honestly, I wish the Ice Climbers knew to charge it more. Alright, Jigglypuff has now brought it even landing 2 rests to take down 1 stock. Jigglypuff getting to choose to not want to have to deal with that offstage pressure, floating over the opponent to stage. Also, with that many jumps, you get to choose when you attack. Oh, the X-Climbers don't get the throw combo. Jigglypuff able to attack on the platform. That's not gonna work, but the X-Climbers only punish with like 1% of damage from their Blizzard attack. Oh, Jigglypuff went for an up air there. I guess trying to read the jump, but, you know, it didn't work. What? You don't do that as Jigglypuff, because it kills you like that. Well, sorry for the lackluster ending, but I hope you liked the episode, and I'll see you next time.